There's also one other question that came up today, and that is about a part of the technique of meditation called Dhyan. The techniques or the method of meditation that I follow on the teachings of great Master Haroon Maharaj Baba Sawan Singh require that we apply the following three things for our meditation. One, to seat ourselves at the third eye center behind the eyes. That's step number one, most essential step. If we don't do that and we go about our business and say we are repeating the words, no value. I must tell you. Maybe having some value indirectly in how your mind thinks, how your mind works, but not in meditation. To meditate effectively, the first part is, and should be done first, to close your eyes and sit behind the eyes. Not that I'm saying now sit, just find out that you're sitting behind the eyes. You're already there. Just become aware of it. Become aware of the fact, and when you become aware that you are sitting in the head behind the eyes, automatically the body becomes a covering upon you. You can call it a vehicle that you're driving from there, call it a house in which you live in the 6th floor, call it by any names, it's an outside things around you. First step. If you don't do this step, forget about meditation, according to the system taught to me. A lot of people I find meditating without doing this. They think you can roam around in the world, think of everything, and then start doing mechanical meditation, mantra, repeating. Maybe it makes you feel good. It doesn't lead you to your spiritual true home. Therefore, to make meditation effective, you should do the first step. Second step, repetition of words. Words you will repeat are to squeeze out the words of thought, make more place for yourself and your spirit identity, not the mental identity, behind the eyes from where you operate. The third part is called Dhyan, contemplation of the face of the Master. To do Dhyan on it. It's in Dhyan that the other conflict I spoke to you about, who is your real Master, the one who initiated you first and then you could not have more time with him, or the one who's alive now and whose face you can see today, conflict will come at the time of Dhyan. Whose face do we imagine? Whose face do we visualize? Many people are stuck with that. They're stuck who, and they can neither do one nor the other. And it reminds me of the story of a donkey who could not decide whether he should have hay or grass. He would look at grass, no hay, no grass. He died of starvation. We do the same thing in this conflict. No. Remember, they are all the same. And do not distinguish. See where they come from. And see that if you are meditating with intention on the words inside, which means you are well seated inside, more and more of your awareness has been withdrawn from the body and come into where you are sitting. At that time, Master face will come by itself because you are thinking of it. But Dhyan, as properly understood, does not mean that you make a picture of a Master's face or take a photograph and concentrate on it and then see the picture again. That's not Dhyan. Dhyan is not on a static thing. Dhyan is on a living person. Dhyan is on an actual living Master, a perfect living Master. And if the living Master is not there in front of you in meditation, it's not proper Dhyan. Now, how do you get the Dhyan of a living person? First thing is, don't make it up. Anything you make up is just your own imagination and is being created mostly from seeing videos, seeing pictures, remembering something, being told by somebody. That's not Dhyan. True Dhyan is when you actually remember the living being that you saw, actually remembering the face of a Master as you saw, and remembering the words Master spoke, what he said, how he walked, where was he sitting. It's a memory. Proper dhyan is a memory of the master. Therefore, it has to be a living experience of a living person that you bring back into memory. Anything short of that is not the best use of dhyan. That is why people get stuck on these things. And they make their own images and think they are having dhyan of a master. That is why it's 100% necessary that you have an interaction with a living person in your own lifetime which you can remember. That is why you can never do dhyan of a master who is dead. You can never do dhyan of a master who says he initiated you from a distance and you have never seen his face. These are so essential. And we keep on emphasizing the need of a perfect living master, and we forget that these are essential things to have the dhyan of a perfect living master. That is why when you remember the master, any event, even if it happened 20 years ago, even if it happened 40 years ago, but you can recall the memory of that experience, it's proper dhyan. These three things work in unison with each other. Finally, what it leads on to is the real Simran, which you don't have to do. Real Simran is not in words, but in non-phonetic sounds. It can be heard as a sound, musical sound, sounds of bells, sounds of musical instruments, sounds of flutes, beautiful sounds, several sounds in combination. What are these sounds? The sounds enable you to meditate without doing Simran yourself. Simran is also sound. You also put attention on the words when you speak, then only it becomes effective. And here you don't have to put either repeat words or put attention. The sound comes up and you can switch the attention to the sound. But it must be sound coming from within yourself. Must be sound from your true home. Not a created sound from outside. Outside sound will have no effect. People have asked me, can we put up a nice light music and listen to them? Will it work like the inner sound? No. Inner sound is representing your consciousness in an audible way. Imagine, we couldn't define consciousness. It's a potential for awareness, and here it's manifesting in several forms, including the whole creation, plus an audible sound that can be heard in meditation by any one of us. That is why this combination works together. But we, with our attention, can switch between one and the other. We can switch between remembering the master. We can switch between memory coming and the master is really there. We can switch between repeating the words. We can switch between listening to sound. We can sometimes just relax and let all the things happen together. Best meditation. Best meditation is when you're trying for nothing, but these things are happening in you. When do they happen? When does it happen that something is coming automatically without your trying? I'll tell you when that happens. You all know it. When you love somebody, that person's face comes automatically without your trying. That's exactly what meditation is here. When you can love somebody, experience the love of somebody, get so attached, so much in love with a person, that comes automatically all the time. There's another expression which we use for that, I miss you very much. Have you heard that? Where does that come from? From love. When you miss your master, dhyan becomes automatic, Simran becomes automatic, sound becomes automatic, they all become automatic. One medicine covers all diseases. It's like that. Somebody had invented in India a medicine and called it the 9 jewels. He named it the Navratan Kalp. And he was a very wise man, Ayurvedic guy, and he produced an Ayurvedic remedy called Navratan Kalp, the combination of 9 jewels. The jewels were references to minerals and so much which he used in that medicine. He made it all comprehensive. So you're sick, take the medicine. One of my friends went to him and he said, I understand you are a very well-known Ayurvedic practitioner. I want you to listen to me. He listened for 1 hour. The doctor gave him 1 hour's time to listen to everything. Then he said, I have the remedy for you. Navratal Kalp. I found he gave the same remedy to everybody. I asked him, I met that doctor once, he was in Punjab, and I said, how come if you have to give the same remedy, you spend an hour listening to the person? He said, the remedy does only 10% work. My listening does the remaining 90%. If we don't listen, nothing is coming out, it's all suppressed. So, the real healers give a lot more time to you to express what is bothering you, and then they give you sometimes not nine jewels in that medicine. They give you, if they are sadhu healers in India, they'll give you little ash. Little ash is babhuti, it's holy ash. Just take it, tip of the tongue, put on your forehead. Illness is gone, because it was now doing less than 10%. The rest of it was done by your explaining all your problem. Therefore, when you experience the love of a perfect living master, it is better than Navratan Kalp. It includes everything. And other things that we are teaching, trying to do, they come automatically. It becomes so easy. So secret is the love. And that does not appear in our life if we have never even met the person. Or if we have totally forgotten there is no contact with the master.